some stuff.
Hey, what's up? We're live. Yeah, mute that stuff, man. What do you got going? What do you got to mute?
Well, sometimes like Twitch will have like ads that pop up even though you've muted the channel. It's pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. Yep. All the
But,
ads
like
and shit.
it's almost like if they do an ad break, it'll refresh the stream like you didn't already have the settings set, and then it
Right, which is
starts
annoying.
going with the audio.
No, it's definitely true.
This is
Oh yeah, we're live.
This is like one of the classier thumbnails you put together. It's got a nice
Yeah, it's not too bad, right?
nice color scheme. Everyone's all dressed up, and Mickey and Little Red Riding Hood are all matched up together.
Yeah, there's no one that I was thinking about it. It's not like a funny thumbnail.
No, it's more.
But there's some funny stuff that comes with this, I'll say. Especially the girl on the right. This story is the first thing we're gonna start with. It's fucking crazy. Have you seen any of the new Snow White photos that have got leaked?
No. I guess it's too far away for like trailers. This is like concept.
Oh yeah,
stuff?
yeah. No, it's like I think they're well. There's a whole lot of issues with that.
They casted it. They're just in pre-production.
No, they're filming, and there's issues with that strike, with the actor strike. So I think they're filming with stand-ins, which has been kind of what this is. But I think the internet kind of freaked out about it. Kind of, I guess. It's
what's the term? It's not Pinkertons.
I think it's scabs.
Scabs, yeah. I thought there was something pink too.
I don't think so. But I've heard the term scabs.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. That's like some Jimmy Hoffa stuff or whatever.
Can you ham bone?
What's that?
Knock those together.
No.
Holy shit!
Doesn't get old.
Nice, I forgot about that clip.
Yeah, that one's still there.
That was a good. That was like a 4th of July appropriate one. I saw that.
Yeah.
Someone had that on Twitter as like a connection to it.
Yeah, I can see someone posted that.
From that clip originally.
I think it was from the last year's 4th of July, and then it got clipped around.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think. That's my theory on that.
That'd be good for like if we do stuff around the Super Bowl. I feel like
that's a good Super Bowl video. Definitely.
We should definitely try and do like like we do for the Oscars, something like that.
Yeah, I actually also think we should do like a check-in on the pre-Oscar stuff. It start to kind of.
But like I was saying, it's like so much Oscar bait shit hasn't even come out. They usually wait till it's closer to the.
Yeah, but I do think I think that Killing Moon Scorsese thing is a good bet right now, while it's still a plus. Because it's not going to be a plus. It's not going to be a plus bet.
Him last year just because he hadn't won in a while, or no? I'm thinking of Spielberg. Maybe never mind.
No, you're thinking of Spielberg, but it's just it's pretty solid choice. It meets all those Oscar rules, and then also it's Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I saw that movie, by the way, The Fabelmans. I don't know if it really was.
I didn't see it.
Deserved to win. I don't know.
I mean, everything I've heard from it was like it was a very okay movie. Like
when
a
I
very
thought it should have been more serious than it. Maybe that's why it didn't win, because I feel like the subject matter was like a little too, like a cartoony almost or something. Was like a family drama.
Oh yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once wasn't goofy at all. So.
I feel like that just got forced into like winning a bunch of shit. I don't think normally that's something that would have even been taken seriously. I feel like there's like other stuff going on that pushed that.
Yeah, I feel like if you look at the last Oscar movies that have won, they all fit that criteria of the race stuff and a certain amount of politics and all that shit. So
I mean, they got the race stuff where they got some. What is it? It's Korean, right?
I think I know it's Chinese. They're Chinese.
Yeah, so they got that, but it's not really political though.
No, but when you those rules were like having, I think it was like unseen races in your movie, which is like, all right, you don't see a lot of Chinese people, so it's like that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It checked all the boxes of
Wait,
that.
was that mandate in before Everything All at Once came out, or I thought that was after?
No, it's after. Well, it's before, but I kind of think there was an unspoken thing about that beforehand. Like I think it was like kind of they all knew to do this beforehand. Like even if you look at Coda, which won the year before about the deaf people, that also is like minority group represented in the film. Like,
Well,
and then
wasn't there another
Moonlight, Green Book.
That won before Coda did? You know what I'm talking about? That deaf actress?
Yeah. No, I don't know if she won before.
But also they always kind of like weird niche stuff. Like remember the black and white silent movie that won a bunch of shit? The Artist, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like The Artist, but I thought it was just kind of different. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
I liked it. Something like a Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, exactly. It was kind of like a movie dog type. That's probably the best character in the movie. Oh, the girl is really hot in it, but I think she's French. That's also a good thing. It's like I think you made like a French like she was a French actress, but could be in an American movie without anyone like noticing and shit. So that's a big plus. But
when Marion Cotillard was first starting out, she played this like French singer who had like drawn on eyebrows, and that part got her really big. And I think she was nominated for shit, maybe one. I don't remember.
But there's been some Snow White leaked photos, and I want to just get into the whole these live action movies for Disney.
Oh shit! I didn't know they did Dumbo.
Well,
wow,
yeah, they did Dumbo. I think Tim Burton did Dumbo. That was his.
Tim Burton and Disney
did not do well. Was that?
It was Tim Burton and Disney, or Disney did one and then Tim Burton did one.
Well, Tim Burton actually has a long history with Disney. You know that, right? Like his first job was Disney.
There.
Yeah, he used to work. He has a history with Disney. Alice in Wonderland. He did.
I remember seeing like all his student films that he had there that were all precursors to like Nightmare. What is it? Fuck, the Christmas one and Frankenweenie and shit like that.
Well, I think he did Frankenweenie for Disney, like originally. I think it was like a short animated thing or something. Like I know he worked there. He was one of the, and then he kind of went off and did his own thing in the late 80s or 90s. But I know he's done Alice in Wonderland. That was definitely Disney, and he did Dumbo. Yeah, all these live action movies have not been too great. Like I don't think any of them are like. No one's like, oh, we need more of these. Besides from Disney, I guess.
Well, he did Frankenweenie, and then he did this movie called Vincent with Vincent Price, but it's like a kid who wants to be Vincent Price.
Yeah, I like that. I remember watching that. It's like a short too, right?
Yeah, you know what kind of reminds me of? Like David Lynch had all these really weird stop motion shorts he did when he was at school in Philadelphia, and some of them are like really creepy. And
oh yeah, like that 5 people getting sick at the same time. Fucking short, yeah. 5 men being sick or something. I forget what it's called.
They're much more disturbing like than any of his later stuff when he had money. Like this is like even more kind of minimal and stuff.
Well, here's the photos of the Snow White leak stuff. So this came out about. I mean, it's gonna first off.
It's like semi nudes or something.
Oh, no. Well, first off, there is some issues with this. These are stand-ins. And everyone's like, "Oh, this is like ridiculous," but they are stand-ins.
Well, who's the guy? They all still like. I don't get it.
Well, they all still look like the characters. That's what the word is. Even though they're stand-ins, they're still represented the characters. I mean, the Snow White is gonna be played by
Snow Brown and then multi-ethnic Portland hipsters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's gonna be played by Rachel Zegler, who I guess is Spanish. But even in the original song, they can't help themselves. No,
it's just so forced. Like they just can't even help themselves. It's like the formula must sustain.
Yeah, and even in the song from Snow White, it was lips as red as road, hair as black as ebony, snow as white as snow. So the character was supposed to be white. I mean, it's undeniable.
Well, isn't this like remember you were talking about the what is it, like the Lord of the Rings character that was written to be a certain way and then they just ignored the
they just ignore all that shit. Yeah. It's, That just gets ignored. And then here's the 7 dwarfs, by the way. Where like
oh fuck.
Yeah. It's like hilarious looking too, because first off, they look
I
fucking
don't understand.
retarded.
Like they bothered to get one dwarf. Like what? Who even fucking cares at this point? You got one token guy to like. The rest clearly aren't dwarves. So
Well,
why
apparently,
even
I
bother
think
to get one?
Peter Dinklage said something about that the Snow Wife and 7 dwarfs being like offensive, but then you get this. Then you get the Portland hipsters, multi-ethnic Portland hipsters here. I mean, like, look, also like these costumes look like, like bad. I mean, like you're trying. I mean, I know these are stand-ins.
Why are they doing this? Like, aren't they just going to be CGI fucking shit anyway? Why do they need these people?
I don't think so, but I mean, I know these people are stand-ins, but still, just seeing characters that look like this. That's. I mean, apparently this was for pickup shots and for. So if you're doing a pickup shot, it could just be like their legs moving.
Actual dwarves and shit, or are they going to do like?
There's not going to be dwarves.
The Hobbit did, where they just shrink people down, make them look stupid.
No, they're not going to be dwarves in the movie. They're going to be called bandits. They're sticking away from the dwarf thing, which is also, in a sense, offensive.
Fucking title. Are you kidding me?
Right, but also think about this. Like, think about giving little people jobs is probably a good thing. But then they like, all right, fuck dwarves.
Can't act,
Do they really need to? I mean, this is also why it's nice to have.
Yeah, I mean,
animated
would you rather
stuff.
have some like random person who can't fucking act at all because they're a dwarf, or just a very well-known actor that's going to sell the movie?
Yeah, but this is also why it's better to have like fictionalized cartoon stuff. Like, look at the dwarves in Snow White. They're kind of almost like Lord of the Rings dwarves. It's like they're so fictionalized that they're like essentially mystical beings anyway. But so it's like it's not about real dwarf people.
Just like lame-ass miners.
Yeah, I mean, but look at these people. I mean, this guy's got a fucking blazer on. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's just like, I don't know what they're fucking doing. They're doubling down on this stuff, and it doesn't seem to be working.
Hold on, I want to see more comments. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some funny comments here. And this is getting conservative.
No one's talking
super conservative there.
No one's talking about the image.
Yeah, they're just talking about that. Yep. But I agree with the Portland hipsters thing. Let me go to this. This Daily Mail was the one who
Brown.
Snow Brown, yeah.
Oh man, you gotta love the internet.
Oh yeah, you gotta love it. Here's some of the more of the photos here, and that is not even the girl. That's a stand-in. So she looks similar. She looks similar to the girl. Yeah, and here is the prince, who is Prince Jonathan or something. I don't know. It looks ridiculous.
Why are they doing this?
That's a good question. I feel like no one wants this
at all.
No one needs this. Also, like, look how like
I mean, like these people walking around a field like this. What's the point?
It's pickup shots apparently, and there's a writer's strike, so none of these actors can like go film. So that's why you see these fucking people, because they're just, it's a stand-in shot. They could be filming people's feet, and like it's like B-roll.
Blocking?
It's B-roll stuff, so it's like you really don't need the actors there, so that's probably why they're doing this. But I mean, if you can tell, even if they're B-roll or not, if they want their actors to look like this, then that's fucking ridiculous. That means, I mean, we're kind of seeing what they look like. If it's B-roll or stand-in or not, we see what this is.
You ever think about that?
What's that?
They're stand-in clothes too, wardrobe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, all their costumes are going to be what they are in the movie. Like if they're wearing this as stand-ins, that's what they're wearing in the movie. This guy's wearing a fucking blazer. Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. It's like if they're wearing this, that's what the characters in the actual movie will be wearing. Oh. Why would they have them outside of that? They're wearing the same stuff. Usually stand-ins are usually like the same size, weight, that kind of thing. That's usually what they do. And I get it. It's like you'll film you film a close-up of them walking with their boots or something. It doesn't really matter if it's the actual actor. You might as well get stand-ins. That's what this is. But still, we can kind of get a rough idea what they're going to look like.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at this. These dwarfs are like ridiculous looking. You know, it's like they're very fictionalized. They're not supposed to be little people. They're supposed to be more like mythological dwarf beings. You know, it's better like that. Yeah, I don't get it. Also, it's like there's a woman dwarf now too. A couple of black dwarfs. You get one real dwarf.
Is that for the movie or just for this shit?
That's for this. That's for the movie, man. They're getting away from dwarfs because it's offensive.
Oh, okay. Is there a different pronunciation for a female dwarf? Is it like a dwarf or something?
I don't know, but I guess they like. I guess Peter Dinklage said something like how he hated the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs representation of little people or something.
The old one. Yeah. Disney
like they're not dwarfs though. Like, come on.
Borderline racist shit all the time.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's like, what about like Lord of the Rings dwarfs? What about them? Are they offensive? Or are they just like a mythological fictional thing? That's sort of how I feel about the Snow White dwarfs too. They're just sort of supposed to be like a story. You know, I don't think they're trying to represent people that are little. You know, I don't think that was the point.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
And then on top of it, it's like, what about actually giving those people actors, like those actors, some kind of representation, right? Like they don't get a lot of parts.
Yeah, because they can't act.
Right. But it's like, at least like, you know, like look at like Wizard of Oz.
Or Tiptoes.
Like the amount of or Tiptoes. Like the amount of people they employed that were, you know, little
pretty
people.
Both those films are kind of on the same level too.
I mean, we also don't know if they can't act. That's another way to say it. It's like, I don't know if they can't act. I don't think they're really given the opportunity to act. You know what I mean?
We gotta start mixing
really true.
Those clips. Do we have any footage of that movie?
I have no Tiptoes close, but think about this as a dwarf actor. Can you really been like most of them aren't given a chance? You know, like what if there is a really good dwarf actor? You won't know.
You see, Peter Dinklage can fucking act. So
right, he's been around forever before
or like
Game
a
of
younger
Thrones.
version of him.
Yeah, and he's been around a long time. He was in Tiptoes. He's been around forever.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in this IFC, like this movie on IFC a longest time ago, where he was like lived around like a train station or some shit. Some like, you know, low budget art house type of fucking movie. But apparently it was good and it not like launched his career, but like that's the first prominent thing I saw him in. I think it's called like something with like a train station or something in the title.
But yeah, they're under fire for exactly what I'm saying, where they're not including dwarves. It's funny, they're trying to be non-offensive, but also being offensive. That's very Disney. Like that all fits. You know, they're trying to be inclusive, but then also uninclusive, including little people actors. So that's what you get. It's a great movie too. The 1937 movie is like one of the better animated movies too, especially when you look into like the amount of work that they put into that. It's like, and like the fact that it's 1937, like you can go watch that movie, you will not think this is a movie from the 30s. The animation is
Disney movies,
but I mean, like the animation is like really good. You know, like one of the best. It's kind of like work of art type level.
Wasn't it? It was rotoscoped.
There was a lot of rotoscoping, but also just, I mean, that level of animation, all done by Americans too, by the way, not like Japanese slave shops.
That's like part of the reason I got into like one anime was because of hand drawn, not 3D shit. I could really care less. But it wasn't really Disney stuff. It was more like Nickelodeon, like Rocko's Modern Life and Ren and Stimpy, stuff like that. And like
so it wasn't Shrek that got you into animation?
That came like later on. Those movies are much later on, and I remember the first Shrek though made like a shitload of money. Did really well.
Wasn't bad. It's all right for what it was. It's supposed to be Chris Farley's movie.
He was gonna do a Scottish accent.
Yeah, I mean, he recorded all the movie, and then he died while they were like animating it. So then they had Mike Myers come in and do the other version. I don't think it was going to be Scottish. I think he was going to be just kind of how Chris Farley was. Actually, even Mike Myers, he recorded I think like a quarter of the movie, just like his voice, like Mike Myers, and then sort of did the Scottish accent. And they're like, oh, okay, we gotta go back and redo the whole movie like this. Yeah, that's the lore.
He did that in So You Married an Axe Murderer, right?
Yes, I think what happened was I think he was doing like a take, and he was like doing a take, and it sounded like the Scottish thing. They're like, oh shit, we gotta like go back and do everything like this because we like that, and it makes sense makes more sense with that movie. Shit, though. I mean, this costumes look bad. I don't even know what they're. I mean, honestly, like when I was looking at this, I laughed for like 10 minutes just seeing these people. Ugh. It sucks. Oh, I mean, I do think this girl's kind of attractive, but she looks like a fish a little bit too. Rachel Zegler.
Oh, yeah. What is she from?
I think she's from the new West Side Story movie. I think that's what that's what I want to say.
Who did that shit? Wasn't that Spielberg?
That was Spielberg.
It seems weird for him.
Yeah, and I mean, she's also doubling down on all this woke stuff. She's kind of saying that she wants the modern characters to not be defined by needing a man's love. I don't know why you'd even like say this shit. Honestly, like shut the fuck up. like honestly, like you get these parts, you're gonna make money.
It's just a shitty Snow White movie. Like, what do you think?
Yeah,
fucking
like a Rosa Parks movie or
Gone
something.
the Wind or something. It's like a shitty fucking cash grab, like nothing.
Cash grab remake.
It's
like,
not
that's
like
it.
some.
That's all it is.
It's not like some dramatic Oscar-worthy fucking film. And like, just shut up and play your dumb little part in this crappy fucking reboot that's just trying to make money off children and fucking nostalgia horrors. Like,
right.
It's the same thing with like the Captain Marvel shit, you know, like that crappy fucking movie got like everyone just got distracted by it with the other bullshit, which I guess is a good thing because then it's less attention to how shitty the movie was.
Yeah, no, that movie came in between Marvel's biggest movies of all time. Like their biggest numbers were in between that, so of course it's gonna do well. But that movie did really well, Captain Marvel. But really, when you had, I think those two Endgame Avengers Part 2 or whatever, I don't know, they were in between those. So of course it's gonna do well when that's like the biggest Marvel movies of all time. Now they're pretty suffering. Even actually, I was actually looking at the box office. The new Mission Impossible is not doing that good. I was surprised at that.
Yeah,
I figured that would do a lot better.
That franchise felt pretty safe. You know, everything.
I mean,
put out.
It is not safe.
Good was like above average.
It is safe. It's domestically
like a more like a I don't know how to put it, like James Bond shit. But
it's better than James Bond. It's been the better James Bond.
Having to be so formulaic all the time.
Yeah. It's domestically, it doesn't do that great here. Internationally, it does really well. And that's kind of what's happening already. It's going to be a big global hit, but domestically, it's not that great. Not like Top Gun.
Or Top Gear.
Top Gear, too. Well, that's all around European. They love that. I love Jeremy Clarkson. He's great. He's a funny guy.
What else do you like racing?
I don't like racing.
I don't either, but if you like that shit, it it does it for you.
Well, I think you got to like that Formula One shit too, though. That's the European NASCAR-ish thing or something. I don't know. But according to this, the dwarves in Snow White will be called bandits, and they steal from the queen to feed the poor, like Robin Hood! ! Here they are. Here they are once again. I don't know why this guy's in like a modern day blazer. That like bothers me too. Like this looks like a blazer. He's got like a Portland beanie on. I see what they're saying. Yeah. So we got a Hispanic Snow White when obviously not meant to be Hispanic. Of course we got it that, right? Disney striking again here. Hispanic Snow White, and then 7 dwarfs include 6 full grown adults. That's what you get in this day and age. And a woman too. Not even like there's a female too. Like, you know, gotta throw that in. This same account said I saw a funny tweet. They were saying that the Disney looks like they went to the homeless camp in Portland to cast their 7 actors here.
Yeah, it probably did.
Yeah.
It's just like go to like
this is what it looks like.
Of like people who've got away with rape for like 8 months in a row.
Yeah, I think this is where they found their cast. They went through the homeless camp
They
here.
just got done shooting up and taking a shit in the sidewalk outside of a CVS.
If I saw any of these people, I'd be scared. I was like looking at this and I was like, oh god, I'd be scared. Maybe this guy is kind of more normal, but everyone else I'd be scared about, especially this person in the middle. I don't know what's going on here. Or this girl who's got like a shaved mohawk in the middle. It's terrifying.
It's definitely hard to look at.
But the actress Zegler has responded to all the criticism, talking about there's been some criticism about the brown washing. She kind of posted all these photos of her, like looking like I guess she dressed up as a kid as Snow White or something, but then I saw someone talk about this where, you know, it almost kind of proves the point of if you dressed up as that character being Spanish, that like it didn't really matter about having representation about your group. Look at this. I mean, this is ironic that you're race swapping. You still like Snow White, but you're all right, you know, like, but you still represented the character, but you don't really need this person to be Spanish. That kind of thing. They always like, oh, we need this person to be Spanish. What's up,
You know what they
Mixaplex?
did for the Aladdin reboot? Cast a white person instead of the actual role for a different race. That would have been
a
real mind.
I thought about that. Like, what if you had like a black actor?
We went back to like old Hollywood and we got like what's the
or like you make Lando Calrissian a white guy in Star Wars. You know, like what if you recast it? You know,
maybe like future woke is everyone's okay now with like white people putting blackface on in films again. You know?
Oh, okay, like see Thomas.
We're so like accepting of everything. That's the next step. You know, it's just like, why not? You know.
Are you a fan of C. Thomas Howell?
Who?
You know, C. Thomas Howell. He's Soul Man, and I think he's
No,
Pony Boy.
I don't like that actor at all. He's
you don't like bad. You don't like. Okay, you don't like him.
Pony Boy in that shitty fucking Outsiders movie we had to watch. No,
isn't Ralph Macchio the other guy? Ralph Macchio is the other guy,
yeah,
right?
he's in that shit.
It's the Karate Kid, man. Well, what do you think about the Karate? Are you a fan of the Karate Kid movies or no? That's
not really. You don't like it's weird. I have more memories of that awful Hilary Swank one than I do the original. She was like obsessed with pigeons or some fucking shit. And
I can't say I ever saw that one.
Really?
You saw that one? Yeah, no, I never saw that.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't think in theaters, but I had, probably more exposure to it than anyone should. That and like, what's that movie where this girl has like a bunch of geese that show up, and then there's a plane that they build or some shit? I'm gonna have to look that shit up. I think Anna Paquin plays the kid, and it's like Jeff Daniels or some shit. Yeah, Fly Away Home. It's Anna Paquin and Jeff Daniels, and there's like a bunch of geese chickens that have been abandoned, and then they build a plane to mock the mother, and it shows them how to like fly away to migrate.
Yeah, it's Fly Away Home. But this is going to be another disaster. This whole Snow White thing. It's obvious what's going to happen. I know. I can already tell you, this ain't going to be good. I mean, I was really hoping for a good Snow White movie, right?
I hadn't really thought about it until you brought it up.
I mean, to me, it's just like, why? Like,
I mean, I knew they were
movie.
going to keep doing live action shit. Just what abomination we're going to pick next.
I just don't really get why. I don't understand. Like, your movies, like, you could still show a kid Snow White and they'd probably like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. That's my, like, even all those old Disney animated movies, it's like they're essentially timeless when you have animation. You know what I mean? Like, you can't like pick up that it's old. Like, I never thought that movie was from 1937 when I saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I would have never thought that. Like, they don't feel old. Oh, no. I'm saying, like, Snow White. Oh. Fly Away Home feels like shit. Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
It's not a bad movie. It's better than Radio Flyer. Okay.
Oh, no, I think Radio Flyer is a better movie. Come on. You got the,
it's a good movie, but it makes me want to kill myself every time I watch it. It's like one of the most depressing things I've ever seen on film.
Any like kid getting beat by his dad, I'm all in on. I'm all for that.
Yeah, is that a genre? Domestic abuse film.
Like
what's that one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, where he's like a Boy Scout or some shit? That movie's fucking good, actually.
I don't think I know that one. Wait, who's the Boy Scout? Leo?
They both are. Robert De Niro is like the scout dad, and Leonardo DiCaprio is the son. Well, he's not his actual son.
Oh, I know that. It's called A Boy's Life. The Boy's this
Ellen
boy's
Birkin
life
plays his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's good. It's just it's not a fun watch.
Ellen Barkin.
Ellen Barkin.
You don't see her anymore.
No.
Oh,
she kind of looks sort of like Renee Zellweger, where she like sucked on a lemon really hard or something.
She was in Up in Smoke in a very weird scene where she's like playing a guitar and singing and shit. I remember that.
The Cheech and Chong shit?
Yes, she's in the 19. That's her first. I'm looking at. That's her first appearance in a movie. She had a relationship with Johnny Depp.
Weird.
Whom she was in Fear and Loathing.
If she was, it was a very bit part. I can't remember.
I'm trying to like think about who she was in Fear and Loathing. Apparently, that's where she met him. I don't see it. I mean, she was cute in the 90s, actually. She was, like, pretty good. I get it. Definitely older than Johnny Depp.
That's a weird movie.
The Fan?
Yeah, that's... Tony Scott's got some weird shit.
That's Tony Scott, The Fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking a Big Fan.
No. This is that...
No, I know The Fan.
Robert De Niro, Wesley Snipes movie where
Wesley
he's like
Snipes movie, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I see it, yep. I remember this then. Funny, man, De Niro now is just... I saw his new movie with Sebastian Mancuso or some bullshit. You know that stand-up guy?
That's kind of old now. We were talking about how shitty he was as a stand-up a while ago.
Yeah, he just put out a movie not that long ago. It only came out a few months ago, maybe a month ago. It's bad. I mean, I could see it's a complete boomer comedy. You know, like if you showed it to your parents, they'd like it. That kind of movie. That kind of shit. But
so Fear and Loathing, her part is.
Yeah, I can't remember her in that. I know
I'm
she
trying
looks
to
like I can't
find
remember
the
her in
credit. That's the one thing about IMDb is like the top cast is not really in order that it should be.
No, it's not.
Well,
I mean, it's usually just about popularity.
Well, if it was, she would be higher.
Yeah, you would think so with that. I don't know if she was ever really that famous though, right?
Okay, she plays a waitress. It says North Star waitress, so it's like a very.
Oh my god! It's like I'm looking at this. It's basically an extra part. Like it's basically extra shit.
That's why it's so low in the credits. I was like, I guess maybe
That's
the credits are based more on the exposure in the film than your rest of your career. You know.
Well, it should be about who's in the movie the most. That's what it should be about. It should be about who takes like the credit as
like screen time and shit, or like
it should be about that.
Speaking parts.
Well, it's mixed though. It's like there are movies where, like, let's say you make a movie, an indie movie, where you have. Let's just do an example. Like, let's say you make a really low budget indie movie and you have Ellen Barkin in that. You're gonna put Ellen Barkin at the top of the credits just because she's in it. It happens a good bit. I saw this movie Barbarian, where Justin Long is. I'm sure he's credited at the top. If you look on IMDb, he's like hardly in the movie. And I think maybe he produced it. I don't know. But that's what they do. They do these movies. They'll have an actor who's more famous just to kind of sell the movie. And I don't blame them. You know, you're doing a movie, you're an indie movie. Especially like you get a big actor, you only have to pay him like for one day for like a small part. You know, and then you could publicize that movie as we have Ralph Macchio in it, even though we had him for a day. I think Artie Lang did that with what's the movie? It's really bad. It's like about intramural baseball team. I forget what it's called. Beer League. There you go. Yeah, Ralph Macchio just for like a couple of scenes. So you do. That's what you do. Meanwhile, I was looking into this Ron Perlman thing. Jesus Christ, this guy's a nutcase. He's been going off about different stuff. He went off about the new writer's strike thing, so he's been kind of going off on that. And I mean, hey, also we haven't reported on the writer's strike here. The writer's strike now includes all the actors. Aren't you so disappointed that you're not going to see any new Jimmy Kimmel stuff? It's fucking sad, right? My week wouldn't be complete without Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. Or Stephen Colbert. I mean, there was a point too where Stephen Colbert was very funny. And now it's done, man. I think he's been bought in. He's got the adrenochrome. He's been bought into the adrenochrome, the Hollywood system. I mean, you don't quote me on that, but I think it's true. And Ron Perlman has recently he went off on I think it was DeSantis, and like none of the things he actually said were correct. That was the funniest part about it. Like he didn't really know. This is very actor stuff. They don't really know what they're talking about. They just want to spew their bullshit. That's very actor stuff. Here's him calling DeSantis a Nazi pig, and that, I don't give a shit. I don't like DeSantis. I don't like Ron Perlman. I don't like anybody. I don't like any political party. Fuck them.
Like
all I can say is yeah, he does. There you go.
Good morning, Governor DeSantis. Ron. Don't say gay. Don't say as the first two words in a sentence spoken by a political leader of a state in the United States of America. Don't say. Don't fucking say, you fucking Nazi pig. Say. First Amendment. Read about it. Then run for office. You piece of shit.
Yeah, he's pretty
awesome.
outspoken.
Oh man, he needs to like not do these close-ups so hard.
Oh yeah, I mean he looks like the caveman from what was that Fire movie? The movie where he finds fire.
Question Fire.
I like that movie a lot, so I'll give him. I think that's his best role.
Man. It's fucking boring.
I like it.
I don't.
I mean, like when you think of Ron Perlman, what's a movie you think of that's actually good? I can't really think of much.
That devil
like,
shit.
I really can't. The Hellboy movies?
Yeah, Hellboy. I don't know.
I mean, I tried to like those movies. I didn't like them.
2? He's in Blade 2.
Maybe Blade, yeah. I get it. There's a French movie he's in, but it's not really about him. It's more about the directors.
It's almost like another silent fucking goddamn part. I know what you're talking about. It's the guy who did Emily and shit.
Yes, but it's the City of Lost Children. I want to say.
Yeah. No, that movie is good. It's fucking awesome. Like some really awesome visuals.
Also, it kind of makes you, talk about, you're going to talk about this like Hollywood pedophile shit. I feel like that kind of comes into play a little bit. That movie. There's some.
Does it?
Weird. Yeah, I kind of think so.
I mean, when I saw that movie, I wasn't even. I don't think you aware of that kind of stuff going on. So.
Yeah, the movie's about kidnapping children to steal their dreams and slow the aging of the elite people. So kind of like what you've heard about, like adrenochrome and other things.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Dark. So pretty matches up with the conspiracies you've heard. Believe them or not.
The character's got some good shit.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I almost want to go look back at their history of stuff and check out like the lesser known stuff I might not have come across back then.
Well, here's him talking about the new strike, the writer's strike and actors strike. Well, the actors have now joined into the writer's strike, which is, I mean, I don't care. I'm so happy that the Hollywood's just not making right now. They're not making anything. Like all Hollywood stuff is just stopped. So it's crazy. But here's Ron Perlman talking about it.
One thing before I get off this. The motherfucker said we're going to keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and their apartments. Listen to me, motherfucker. A lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it is financial. Some of it is karma. And some of it is just figuring out who the fuck said that. And we know who said that. And where he fucking lives. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. You wish that on people. You wish that families starve while you're making $27 fucking million a year for creating nothing. Be careful, motherfucker. Be really careful. That stirs shit up. Peace out. The one thing.
So that's like kind of a threat, is what I would say, by the way. Would you agree? That's kind of like, I think he could actually be legally charged against saying that thing there.
I don't know what constitutes like a level of threat to be,
like
legally binding,
significant enough to, legally. Yeah, I don't know, but like, I mean,
and shit, I don't know.
Check this out. Check out right here. Check this out. So, Bob Iger receives $27 million annually. Do you think? Do you think Rob Perlman was talking about Bob Iger? Because it sounds like it.
What's the boomerang shit?
I don't know what boomerang. I guess boomer thing, but like, yeah, no. I mean, he's the CEO of Disney, and he's received $27 million.
Disney's boomerang. What does that mean? Boomerang CEO.
Oh, I think it's because he came back to being a CEO. He was the CEO, and then he stepped down, and then Bob Chapek took the role, and then he came back. So I think that's what that means.
That is such like really that you're that's how you're using boomerang.
I guess. I mean, this is Fortune.
God, it's just like such obnoxious writing.
Yeah, but
just leave out
kind of
Boomerang. Just put Disney CEO, former CEO, former.
Yeah. I mean, this is where you start to
Or
think
returning.
like, okay, he's
like the people who
returning,
write this shit,
right.
Douchebags.
Or on and off again.
Well, you can see
CEO.
Christopher Palmieri. Can we see who this guy is? Christopher Palmieri?
Yeah, let's see. He's a writer for Fortune. Seems like he's talking about a lot of Disney stuff and strike stuff, writer strike shit. Ant-Man. Yeah, he doesn't. He puts out like an article, like one article a month, kind of thing, for Fortune. If you're out there, Christopher Palmieri, we don't like your writing. We don't like your headlines.
I don't like the. It's just like too much. It's unnecessary.
But I mean, it sounds like Ron Perlman's referring to this guy. Am I right? That's that 27 million matches up with what he's saying there. Like right here, let's see.
I don't know. You could probably go down a really
right there
deep and dark Ron Perlman wormhole to find out what his agenda is with all this stuff.
I mean, he really does seem like this like woke lunatic, though. I've seen his other like videos of him talking about himself. He's like fucking nutcase. Like talk about like a woke lunatic. It's like he really fits that term. Meanwhile, the guy like, what's Ron Perlman worth? You know, like I'm sure he's got some fucking money from Hollywood. I'm gonna search that. Ron Perlman net worth. What do you think? Actually, you know, it's not. I mean, it's more than I got. He's worth $8 million, so he ain't living in poverty.
No, Ron
he's
Perlman.
all right. Yeah, he's got that Quest from Fire money going on.
He's also in this Stephen King adaptation where he plays a cop.
Really?
I don't remember the name of it. I just vaguely saw it on lists of bad Stephen King adaptations.
Oh, is it Desperation? It's a TV movie?
I think it's a TV movie, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this looks bad. Yeah, man, I think... oh, yeah, this looks really bad. Yeah, I think anything with Steven Spielberg he can actually sell. He's pretty good at selling all this stuff off. I don't know. I think Spielberg's actually a little overrated for sure. I mean, not. Oh, I'm sorry, Stephen King. Spielberg's overrated too, though. Most of it's Jaws. That's a perfect movie right there. There's a few. There's only a few perfect movies, and I think Jaws comes to mind. Can you think of like a perfect, like like a perfect movie where it's like it works on all levels? I think Back to the Future might fall in there too.
For me, it's Gladiator. I can watch that fucking.
I think Gladiator falls in there as well.
Over and over again. I don't know what it is. I just like the pacing of it.
I think Godfather, The Shining, these are perfect movies. Reservoir Dogs, it's a perfect movie.
I wouldn't say perfect. I think you mean like the
Eternal Sunshine.
The watchability of it is where like once it starts, you will finish it most of the time. They're not. I don't know about like calling it perfect. I mean, everything's flawed. Like a lot of people just want different shit out of every movie. You know, it's hard to be like universally idyllic to every individual. You know, like.
Yeah, no, it's definitely subjective, but I think a lot of these movies are universally liked by a lot of people. I mean, here's the thing: perfect movies.
Is there a list or anything?
There's a list.
For that?
31 here. There's 31 movies that are considered to be basically perfect. I mean, there's some on this list that I definitely don't agree with, and like perfect is hard to meet. I think Jaws does. I mean, I think that might be the one I could really be like, all right,
that or like really evaluate that until you've seen the movie like 10 plus times all the way through. You know what I mean?
No,
yeah,
no, it's true.
Gotta, like,
I mean,
put yourself through it and experience that shit for an extended period of time. And a lot of, I don't know, it's hard to like avoid.
I think it also depends on
certain
the time
human
period, all
things
that
like
shit.
nostalgia, or like after a while, there's different aspects that are gonna like impact how you think about it. Like you
Yeah,
can't just
I mean,
see
so
something
here's
for
the
the first
list.
time and say it's perfect. It's got to be like something that holds up over a long period of time
Yeah.
too.
And this actually goes into play what we're talking about. 31, Citizen Kane. I don't know if that really holds up. I've seen this and I was like, I understand why this was really popular in 1941, but once you've lived to where
Well,
we're at,
Citizen Kane was
it's okay.
really more impactful on just like editing, like and
Yeah.
cinematography.
Well, at the time,
I
I would
don't
be like,
think it
okay,
was
I get it.
really.
That is a
I don't.
masterpiece
I
of
mean,
cinema.
I'm sure the story is great and the acting is good, but for me, when it was brought up, it was because of how far and ahead in advance it was.
Yeah, it's got
Certain
non-linear
techniques and things
storytelling.
like that. Like Battleship's,
Yes.
Potemkin or something, showing people how to do like certain editing techniques and like quick cuts and all that kind of stuff. Like that's what
I
I'm
mean, here's
saying.
another one. Singing in the Rain. I don't really like this movie at all, but it's like very 50s where movies weren't
Well,
really grinding
and
or
it's one of the
pushing the
best
edge.
musicals of all time.
Right, but it's like it's during an era where there was no like pushing of the envelope. Like the 50s and 60s were pretty kind of a downtime for Hollywood. To me, when you think of the 50s and 60s, you actually think of like the golden age of TV. TV, that's actually where we're at now. TV is more the golden age than the movies. It's kind of similar time thing going on there. Godfather Part 2. I mean, this one's great. I think I like this one maybe more than the first one. I don't know. I probably do like the first one the best, but it's a really good movie. I like the Italian sequences going on with De Niro.
I like when they're in Latin America and like they can't leave because like there's some weird like political war going on, and then that's when the Fredo scene happens.
Now, this is a movie that I think should be higher on the list. I think The Shining might be kind of a perfect movie because I think it
Yeah, I
transcends
don't
the
know. I
horror
think
genre.
a lot
What's
of the
bad about
tradition
this
of The
movie?
Shining is people like the book and people like the movie, and they're very different from each other. So that kind of
Yeah, I could see that. I know Stephen King did not like the movie, so
also Steven Spielberg didn't like it. I saw this interview where he like was just explaining that Jack Nicholson's performance was just too over the top for him. Like it almost like distracted
oh man,
and
I
took
like
away
kind of
from the rest
completely
of the
disagree with
movie.
that. I disagree with that. I don't think he was like. I think he was over the top at the times he needed to be over top, and subtle at the times he needed to be subtle. And
Well, I
I
mean, you
disagree.
gotta you like. There's literally like three people in a mansion for 3 hours. You don't think they're
Yeah,
gonna
and you
try and
still like it.
overact and like
Well, yeah, and
do
you also
all they
you're
can?
still
I mean, there's
interested.
nothing really going on other than the performances. So you gotta come up with some shit and like go out of your mind to make up for
Here's
it.
another one. 27, Tom Papo. I've seen this on. I saw this on Criterion. I didn't really like this movie. That was
I
okay.
don't know what it is. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a Japanese movie. There's like ramen and stuff. It was okay. It wasn't like anything I was super interested in.
Well, it's from
Love story.
1985. It must have been impactful for just
I
a
think
lot
for
of like
also for
movies that
Asian
came
cinema,
out
yes.
that time period for that genre. I don't know.
Reservoir Dogs. I love this movie. I still actually I might agree that this should be higher on the list. This is pretty perfect. There's not much I would change. I love the non-linear stuff. I love what's his name? Tim Roth in the movie is great. All the old like the scenes where he's like training to be like a fake gangster was great with the black guy. Oh, it's a great movie. I like that you don't have to show everything. It's like the Jaws shark. You don't have to show everything. Show what you want. Especially like you never see the jewel heist. Harvey Keitel is great in this movie. Probably one of his better parts.
I don't know. Reservoir Dogs feels more like a short film than a movie, though. I don't know why. It feels like it comes and goes so fast that I don't even.
I feel like that's what's great about the movie is that it's it feels very indie. It feels like a very indie movie. Like you can, and I agree. It's like you could almost feel like the student or indiness of it, where especially the fact that they're not showing the jewel heist. It's like because he couldn't afford to show the jewel heist. I think that's part of it. You know what I mean? But there's some controversy with this movie. It's a lot of people have said that this is completely lifted from a Japanese movie. You can actually, I don't know the name, but you can look online. There's a Japanese movie that's said to be the same exact movie as Reservoir Dogs, almost shot for shot. 25, Forrest Gump. I like this movie, but it is very long. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing when I think about if I'm going to give it a deterrence to Forrest Gump is that there's a length factor to the film.
Yeah, to me, it's
I like it. I like it a lot, but
I like it, and it's an interesting mix of a very personal story and then having all these like overarching like historical events that are mixed in and things that are way above the character and like his personal motives, but it's just I don't know, like
it's a Robert Zemeckis movie too. Robert Zemeckis,
nice
so I'm sure Back to the Future will pop up here.
Everything, it's and also there's definitely like certain like the JFK soundbite, like his lips look weird as shit, and it's very weird. Yeah. But you kind of
no, it's not held up the best. Just, this movie,
get over it because like what's really going on, and also Lieutenant Dan's fucking awesome.
Gary Sinise, it's just
Gary Sinise is a really great actor. Like, he's seen a lot of good shit.
I would say the top 3 build people are really good in this movie. You got Tom Hanks, probably his best role of all time. Gary Sinise,
and when the shrimp guy
best role of all time.
I mean, if you don't like
Robin
have
Wright,
emotional connection to that scene, you're dead inside.
Yeah. No, like the top 3 build actors are very, very well. Even I would say Sally Fields, another like good. Everyone in this movie, actually, the acting performances are great. Robert Zemeckis is a great director, and I'm sure
it's also like it's weirdly just like friendly and kind of nice at times, but then also it's like you got the girl like shooting up heroin and wanting to jump off a building. It's like it's got and also New Year's when him and Lieutenant Dan get prostitutes
with the prostitutes.
Like, that whole sequence, it's like I don't know why. Like I always thought of this film as very
depressing,
endearing, and like kind of almost goofy and just kind of happy. But there's certain points in it that are just so depressing and terrible. And then
what about this one? Before Sunrise.
Like when
have
you
ever seen
realize,
Before Sunrise?
Like, his mother is having sex with people so they can live in their house. It's really like a fucking weird movie.
I think it's very very personal.
Remembered it is in a very positive light, even though there's these sequences that are really grimy and disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I remember this being I would have said this was my favorite movie if I was like 10 years old or something. What about Before Sunrise? Have you ever seen this movie? I've never seen this one.
Just bits and pieces. I've never watched.
I don't particularly like Ethan Hawke. I guess I can say that. I kind of dislike Ethan Hawke most of the time.
Why?
I don't know. He just like turns me off. I don't know. I just think he feels very fake. I don't know. I've never liked Ethan Hawke. I don't know how else to say it, but he's just not an actor I've liked. It's almost like Christopher Nolan. I don't like Christopher Nolan. I don't like Ethan Hawke.
I mean, I don't like Christopher Nolan, but Oppenheimer's looking kind of good. I kind of want to check it out once it's like out of theaters.
It's looking okay. It's just I don't know. It's like I'll agree with you on that. I think this is the most
I like the cast,
intriguing one he's had. I didn't mind Interstellar, but I also didn't like it really much either.
Jeffrey Irons is in it. Or what's that motherfucker from I don't
The
know.
cast is just like there's so.
And then apparently there's like some sex sequence with Florence Pugh. This seems out of context to the rest of the movie. I'll definitely check it out once it's like out of circulation and on maybe Netflix or Plex or whatever the fuck. But I don't. I have no um, plans to see it in theaters. Like I don't give a shit. But it probably does have good visuals, given the subject matter and all the. It's like a mix of period piece stuff and like you can mix in like much more advanced visuals despite the time period it's set in. So
Yeah, so
I don't know.
here's my issue. Here's my issue with this movie.
I think it's gonna do really well financially. His stuff, for some reason, people like freak out about it. Like
I don't get it, but
I remember when
here's my issue.
One of the the first or second Batman or whatever the fuck came out, people were acting like it was the best thing ever made. I didn't.
Well, it's definitely the best of that
so good.
series. The Dark Knight is definitely the best of that series, but it's not that great. It's really not.
I feel like around that time period, we were sort of reaching the beginning of oversaturation of superhero shit, and this was
that was pre it. That was pre that.
A little different.
Yeah, it was pre that. It might have led to it. To tell you the truth, it might have been a contributor to leading to. I don't know. I kind of think Iron Man is the big contributor to. Yeah, Harbinger. But like, here's my issue with Oppenheimer. It's a 3-hour and 30-minute movie, big epic movie. Now, like I understand.
Come on, have you seen Lord of the Rings and every single?
Well, that's what I was going to get into. I understand a Lord of the Rings being 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's about a big epic war movie, big epic this, or even Gladiator. It's longer because it's a big epic movie. What is epic about a guy who made the fucking atomic bomb? Like, what the fuck is epic about that? It's not a war movie. It's to me, it seems ridiculous.
People and I don't know. I mean, it's like a war film without the actual fighting. You know,
but that's crazy. It's like then make it an hour and a half movie, and then I'd be like, okay, if he made this movie an hour and a half, I'd be even more intrigued. That's a better way to put it. Like, it was an hour and a half, 2-hour movie, I'd be even more intrigued by the whole thing. 3 hour, 30 minutes, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm out. Like even like Saving Private Ryan, like long movie, but
good,
it makes sense because it's a big epic war movie. What the fuck are you trying to say with a dude who's just making a fucking atomic bomb?
I have a very vivid memory of Saving Private Ryan where I was at Sante's house and he like just got Dish, and we were watching Saving Private Ryan on Dish with his dad, and he loved the shit of that fucking movie. He was like cheering on shit like it was a sports event or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie.
It is, and my favorite sequence is that fucking sniper shit. When it's
that's the best one.
Raining, they're all like hiding behind the barricade, and the guy from Battlefield Earth or whatever.
Oh yeah, I forget. That's
he'd
rather be known.
I think his name is
rather
Barry
be known
something.
as he'd rather be known as being in Private Ryan, I'm sure, than Battlefield Earth. Oof.
I mean, I'm sure he's good on being remembered at all. Barry Pepper.
Yep, that's it.
I didn't IMDb that. It just took me.
No, that's right.
To remember.
Next one here, Toy Story 23.
Yeah, okay. I mean, for like animated shit at that time period, it was pretty flawless because it was way more advanced than any other 3D
animation.
Stuff, but also the story and plot was pretty good. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to really argue that it's one of the better animated movies.
Here's something interesting. The Usual Suspects here, but they're showing an episode. They're showing a image from X-Files.
Yeah,
because I remember the Lone Rangers. These are the Lone Rangers, and then here's Mulder. So interesting
this
image
like a
choice.
Good, profile picture or something.
Yeah, I mean, I actually always liked this group of the Lone Rangers. Were cool. I think it's the Lone Rangers. Maybe not. Maybe it's the Lone Gunmans. I forgot what their name is. They had a name to their group.
I remember watching the Chupacabra episode at my cousin's house.
Oh, 21, The Fight Club. I'm not a big fan of this movie. I think I'm one of the few people. I actually don't particularly like this movie.
Well,
I
it's
was like, it
because
doesn't do
once
anything
you've
for me.
seen it, it kind of not spoils, but like it, a lot of the writing and plot is based on not knowing what's going to happen. So once you've been through it, you know.
Eternal Sunshine, Spotless Mind. I do love this movie. It's great. I think again, we're talking about a non-linear. There's a lot of non-linear stories and editing going on within this list, and this fits that mold. And this is definitely the best movie from that French director. What's his name? Michel Gondry. Yeah, this is his best movie by far.
No, I like that movie a lot, and I hate her character. Like she's.
I think you're supposed to hate her.
Fuck.
But I think you're kind of supposed to hate her.
I know,
like,
but
that's kind of the point.
Represents like a whole type of person that.
And I think you kind of hate her and like her at the same time. I kind of think that's what the role is supposed to be. Like I understand someone being attracted to someone like that, but she is very hateable. You know what I mean? I guess that's what they're trying to convey, especially during that era. Juno. I don't know if I'd put that on the list. I think this movie kind of sucks. I saw it in theaters. I hated it.
Aaron Page did her best. His best.
Oh yeah, exactly. No Country for Old Men. Yeah, this is a really good movie. I don't think I've ever watched it much more than twice.
I really like the pacing. It's fucking smooth.
Great pacing.
I didn't like
very
the
subtle
whole
pacing.
Woody Harrelson like interrogation hotel thing. That's where it got a little. I don't know. I could have done without that whole sequence, but I really like
overall. Overall, I like the movie a lot. It's one of the Coen brothers' best. It has to be on a list of good movies. Slumdog Millionaire is a one that like should not be. I think this movie's epitome of a movie that does not hold up. It's almost like Crash, where it's like this does not hold up. This won an Oscar for the best movie, and I don't really see it.
Crash.
Have you gone back and watched this movie, Slumdog Millionaire? Have you ever watched it again?
No, it felt almost like borderline exploitative. I don't know. It just
almost a little racist.
Danny Boyle is. I mean, I love a lot of his shit, but he's a fucking weirdo, man. I don't know. Something about him is kind of off, and a lot of it comes through on his films.
Now, here's a movie I've never seen called Beginners. Actually, I'm very intrigued. Actually, now
I saw it before on IFC. I gotta say,
it's good.
When I had IFC channel, I saw a lot of this shit. His father is gay and dying, and like a very, I don't know, like kind of rich, famous person, and he's like, I don't know, some like whiny bitch for no reason, struggling without having to.
Is it basically like just these two actors in it the whole time?
Yeah, it's
that being good. They're both good
small
actors.
As far as the other person in is the Inglourious Bastards girl.
Oh, okay.
Who has the movie theater?
Yeah, the French girl in the movie. Perks of Being a Wallflower. I've never seen this. I like the book. I read the book. I kind of felt like I didn't need to watch the story. Didn't need to watch the movie. That's when I never saw it.
I read the book while I was on a train going to Disney World for like 2-3 days. It was a horrible experience. Wish I'd flown. But I was reading this book.
Sounds more interesting.
And I was listening to Limp Bizkit hot dog flavored water at the same time on CD.
I think I'd rather take a train.
That's the context of that.
Yeah, so I know the story. It's a good story. Big coming of age movie. 14 Her. This is a good movie. I might agree with this. It's a great movie. There's not a lot I can hate on this. I like it.
Well, it's.
I don't know if I put it on the list.
I mean, it's connected to like a very certain time period, like of
it fits that 2013 era.
Coming online and like online dating and I don't
Yeah,
know,
this
like
was
all
around the
this
era of when, like,
overwhelming Apple TV fucking shit. You know, like the whole movie feels like you're inside of an Apple advertisement.
well,
Or
this
something.
was around the era of everyone had a smartphone. It wasn't like there was no
Right,
one left
like,
behind at this point. Everyone
but
had a
that's the thing is
smartphone.
like
I think it was an iPhone
it
4.
feels like a 2 hour long Apple ad, but it's like we've been, you know, like that's what like you're living in, you know.
Oh yeah,
This movie's
Whiplash.
good. I
It's
fucking
good.
like
It's really
it.
good. I like it. I like it a
And
lot. I like
I like the way
everything
it
about it.
ends.
I like the editing. I like
He's a great
acting.
actor. He really deserved better. Like as far as his career, he should have been in more shit than.
Yeah, especially like before this, he should have been famous way before a lot of things. You know, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he was doing
But
like
that's
I
Hollywood,
remember
man.
he was doing like commercials and shit for Allstate and stuff. You know, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
man, this guy
Oh yeah.
is
Back then, yeah, exactly. That's true.
this guy is like way above this fucking level of acting. Like I don't know why he's being treated like this. You know, his agent must fucking suck.
Oh yeah. Number 12, the
I
Grand
don't know.
Budapest
Grand
Hotel.
Budapest. That's not what
I like the
think
Grand
of him
Budapest
when
a
I
lot.
think of his films.
No, I think his best movie is easily what is it? Royal Tenenbaums.
I don't know.
It's
I
not
kinda
even like
Rushmore.
close. Oh, Rushmore is good too, but I don't think it meets really the Royal Tenenbaums either.
I feel like Royal Tenenbaums is like his most iconic. Like it
It's
completely-
really not, actually. This is more iconic for him. Most
No,
people
like,
actually don't
to
really
me,
know
like,
Royal
Tenenbaums
Tenenbaums.
is like the peak of his absurd, almost like stylistic shit.
Oh no, definitely
like-
not, man. Look, go watch it.
That's
He
when
does
like
not
he
like.
really like
That's more like Life Aquatic. No, he doesn't
No,
do
no,
the
no,
Wes
like,
Anderson stuff as much as you
you
think.
wouldn't have Life Aquatic without Royal Tenenbaums, like
Right,
look-wise
but-
and
That whole movie doesn't really have much of a vibe of Wes Anderson. It's weird. It does and it doesn't.
I like
Like-
Life Aquatic a lot, man. That is
Yeah.
something I could watch over and over again just because I like the narration and soundtrack. You know, it's almost like I can watch Lost in Translation a lot just because the visuals look really good and the music's really good. It's almost like watching
might
a
come up on
3 hour
there.
long music video or something.
I have a feeling that might come up on the list. 11, Manchester by the Sea. This is a very depressing movie with Casey
It is,
Affleck.
but it's good. It's really
it's a good
fucking
movie.
I like it a lot.
Pre Casey Affleck being canceled. So
No, he's not canceled.
oh no, he's completely done. He's not getting any roles in Hollywood. He's done. Like done.
I've seen him around. He's fucking this bitch Kaylee Cohen right now, who's
Yeah, but he's not like
starring
getting
in
any
a
parts
fucking
because
film that he's producing himself.
yeah, the whole I think he got accused of raping women or some bullshit. He's kind of canceled. He got Me Too'd in that original Me Too moment there. It's a good movie though. Number 10, Lady Bird. I like this movie. I liked Lady Bird. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
Like Greta Gerwig.
This is Prince of the what the fuck? Timothy Chalamet's.
Yeah, he's in it. Yep. I think he's gay in the movie, right?
I don't know. I mean, they have sex, so
Yeah, but I think he's kind of like doesn't want to be with her because he's gay or something.
He's
I don't know.
gay.
Something like that.
I've seen it. All I took away from the movie is that the mother and daughter hate each other, but they still like have to live with each other, and I've experienced that firsthand.
Yeah, and also I really like the composer who actually is the same composer.
20th Century Women is really good too. I think the
Yeah.
same person did that film.
Yeah, but the composer is really good. He did Eternal Sunshine and Lady Bird. His name is John Bryan. I really like his stuff.
Yeah, and he has a lot
Great
of
composer.
kind of like neo-folk, just acoustic type of stuff recordings, and they're all really good. He's been doing like the scene cake type of stuff where it's like light folk, jazz instrumentation, percussion, and stuff for years now. It's just instead of having it be like a solo project, it's a soundtrack to a film. You know, like he's been doing the same type of sound
for a while,
like 5-10 years now. I think he came out
no longer, I guess. Whatever, Eternal Sunshine. What's that? 2003. So a long time, 20 years. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, this is the best multiverse movie, and even the sequel too. They're probably the better multiverse things of all time. I don't know if I put this on the list personally.
No, I think most people will remember the Thomas Holland, like the three of the Tobey Maguire, the other guy, like that will be the big multiverse movie. The three Spider-Men together. Live action.
I guess.
No, it's
let me
gonna be,
see.
but that's
I can see that.
You can't top
let me
that
see.
shit with some animated stuff. Like that's what's gonna be remembered.
Number 8, I think this is also Greta Gerwig.
Timothy
Yeah, it is.
Chalamet.
Little Women. I like this movie. I thought it was really
Yeah,
good.
people love this motherfucker, man.
I liked this movie. I enjoyed it.
You know, he's starting to remind me of like Johnny Depp or some shit. You know,
I kind of
Like,
think that's what he is. Kind of like.
they're really
Yeah, I agree.
forcing this like what was that movie with the headless horseman? Sleepy Hollow. You know, like
Yeah. They're forcing him down his
Parasite.
throat. I like Parasite a lot.
I've seen it
I like
3
it
or
a
4
lot.
times, and every time I watch it, I it's just like it's a different experience because once you've seen it, you're like anticipating certain things to happen, but then when you have that mindset, all the dialogue beforehand has much more meaning and impact. I don't know, like
Yeah.
every time I've seen
I like
it,
this filmmaker. I like Bong Joon-ho. I like The Host a lot, so I kind of like Parasite.
The Host.
I'm a big fan. Host is really good. That's a really good movie too. Very weird
that entire
sci-fi movie.
sequence with the giant salamander coming out and like
Yeah.
I've like I'm surprised how well that's held up because that came out so long ago.
It's still good. Yeah.
It looks pretty fucking good still.
Well, I think it's kind of like Jaws, where it's like they didn't show everything you needed
Jurassic
to
Park.
too. So, yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park looks great. That's still like I feel like still's better than a lot of like 3D animation today.
But the
and it
thing
wasn't
is,
even 3D.
Like, you know the limitations of what you can get away with, and you compensate.
Work with it.
Yeah, like you know the faults of the process and the limitations of the software, to where you try and work around it and get the best out of it. I mean, stuff from Jurassic Park really just, I don't know. It looks still really good. It almost looks like a mix of 3D animation and like stop motion and claymation. Even though I know it's not.
Number 6, The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I mean this movie
is classic. I get it. I get this one on the list.
This movie is
really good movie.
So fucked up. You remember the sequence where he almost gets raped in the film room? I mean,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
This movie is just really.
Yeah, good story, good directing, all that stuff. Good acting.
Of like very lighthearted sequences and
with dark stuff.
So awful, but Morgan Freeman really is that motherfucker
carries the movie.
Yeah. It's not even that. It's like whatever he touches or does has this like calming influence over the entire thing. It's just relaxing. Like listening,
it's like
Forgiven,
Unforgiven too.
It's
Same
like
thing with that.
To like an ambient album or something. Like he's just so smoothing or something. You know, like he's just
it's his voice. He's good at that.
Not even his voice. Like his acting is so understated, to where when he gets let out, it's like I don't know. Like, do you remember when the old guy who works in the library is let out and he can't handle the real world and hang himself?
Right.
That is awful. But then Morgan Freeman gets out, and then they have the possibility of them like meeting on the beach and going out. And
but we don't really know if it happens or not. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like it feels like
it's a good open ending.
In a way, I don't know how to put it.
Good open ending.
But
I mean, it's pretty. I agree with the story is like perfect.
In context,
the story is perfect.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Interstellar, I would not put on this list. I think
but
this
also
movie
with Shawshank, like when he breaks out and he it's crawling out of the tunnel and it's raining. That's one of the best visuals of film you'll ever get.
It's really
like, I
great.
mean, it's just...
I'm gonna skip over Interstellar because I don't think it should be on the list. The movie sucks. Murph and the fucking bookcase. Ugh. Good score by I want to say it's Johan Johansson.
Hans Zimmer.
It's Hans Zimmer. It's not. Yep, that's it. Yep. The Pianist. This is a great movie. I like this movie a lot. This was very sad, very good, very well made.
I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it, but like watching it was not fun. It was a horrible experience. And
how about this? The Untouchables. Have you ever seen The Untouchables? I don't think I've seen this movie. I've seen clips of this. I've heard it's really good.
I think it was remade also.
Yeah, the French version, the French Untouchables. Cinema Paradiso. I've seen this movie in film school. It's good. It's dated. Number one, The Truman Show. All right, so they're not even listing Jaws on here. This is shameful. Shameful. The Truman Show is okay. I think it gets a lot of hype. I kind of didn't really like it that much at the time. It's all right.
I think it gets re-revised,
overstated,
based on the context of the time period that it influenced and stuff that came afterwards. At the time, it felt like a nothing shitty movie, like Ed TV. Remember that?
See, I think that's what I think about it. Yeah, when I think about the movie, I think about that. I just felt like kind of.
It felt like a trend or fad of these, early what was that MTV show when The Real World? Like it was like The Real World mixed with a fucking movie type of thing. And it was like a big fad at the time. But I don't want to.
It's okay. I wouldn't put it at the top of the list.
The show. I mean, I'd
probably put Shawshank at the top of the list.
When he's walking out of the entire world on that painted backdrop in the middle of the sea.
Yeah, that's a good part.
It's like a very beautiful sequence. But
that
has nothing to do with
I agree.
writing or anything. It's just
well, I think the writing is. I mean, I do like it. I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie, but I do like the film. I wouldn't put it as number one on that list. Let me move on to my next thing here. Disney to sell off their TV assets. So Disney, as we know, is in trouble. They're going to sell off their TV assets that could come soon. That's the question.
Like they're done with Baby Yoda?
It could be like selling certain things off to, Willow is now taken off the network. It could be like they're going to sell Willow to like international sales, that kind of shit. Disney's not doing the greatest. And then even Bob Iger, who's now become the big villain of the strikes, he said how what they're requesting is not realistic. Let's see if I think I can find a clip of that. Oh, God. I know I can find it somewhere. Yeah, he's kind of said that he doesn't think it's realistic what they're asking for. Maybe he's right. I don't know. Fran Dresser has said that he's repugnant. Yeah, she's the head. Yeah, she's the head of the SAG actors group. I don't know why, but she is.
She's kind of hot.
Yeah, she's the head. So anytime that SAG comes out and talks.
Do you remember actually watching The Nanny at all?
Definitely.
TV?
I was always very attracted to her as well. So
I was, but I don't remember really watching The Nanny on TV. I feel like I just.
Oh, I do.
It was like after the fact.
I definitely remember watching The Nanny. Shameful. Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, has called out. Here's a clip here. He's called out I think Bob Iger, because everyone loves Bob Iger. By the way, he's the guy who makes $27 million a year that Ron Perlman's talking about. So, don't think anyone likes him.
Talks about what a shame it is. He needs to remember that in 1980. CEOs like him made 30 times what their lowest worker was making. Now Bob Iger makes 400 times what his lowest worker is. And I think that's a shame, Bob. And maybe you should take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, why is that? And not only why is that, is it okay? Is it morally okay? Is it ethically okay that you make that much more than your lowest worker? And if so, why? Why is that okay? If your response is that that's just the way business is done now, that's just the way corporations work now, well, that sucks, and that makes you a person if that's your answer. So you should come up with a better answer than that.
I don't know if he's right
what
on
a shame it is.
that. That's just kind of the way. That is the way business works.
Only in film because his brother.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you're coming from a point of ridiculousness there.
Fucking addict.
Yeah, like you're only in movies because your brother. You would never be in anything else.
Extra.
Yep. And anything he comes in now because of it is because of his brother. Do you know what I mean? Like, probably because of him even getting the part. So I don't know. I mean, I understand what he's saying. These CEOs of big multimedia companies are definitely getting paid too much, but yeah, you're getting paid way too much too, buddy, for doing nothing and being a nepotism hire. Not that I dislike him in those movies. I think he actually kind of works in those films. But
anyway,
yeah.
Play that part.
No, definitely. That's the truth. Anyone could have played that part. You could have easily hired a nobody that could have done the same thing. Not that he didn't do a good job, whatever, but yeah, I agree.
It's filler.
I
agree.
Filler.
Like this motherfucker's
acting
like
he definitely is.
He earned that role.
No, yeah, I definitely did not. No way. Let me see here. I got another good movie thing. This is because we were talking about this earlier. We're talking about Paul Giamatti, so I wanted to talk about the best Paul Giamatti movies. Let's bring that up. What do you think it is? What do you think the best? You think it's Sideways? Before we get into it, what do you think? I think it's Sideways, probably, right? Maybe John Adams, but that's not a movie. That's a good performance.
Yeah, but John Adams is really fucking good. That shit was.
Yeah, I would say that's his best performance.
And who directed that and did cinematography? That was the Boylan girl, right? And not Boylan girl. The
Cats director, the guy who did Cats.
The Eddie Redmayne motherfucker, Redbone. Eddie Redbone guy.
Tom Hooper is the director.
Tom Hooper, yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good job with that whole series. Number 8, The Private Life.
A lot. It's really.
Have you ever seen this movie?
And
The Private Life?
And like, I like the whole sequence where the Thomas Hardy's like trying to get his wall back or something, and this fat woman's getting fucked by this motorcycle guy, and he's trying to sneak out of the place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think that'll come up here. I like that movie a lot. The number 8, The Private Life. I've never seen this, but Catherine Hahn's always pretty decent. Never seen that one. Number 7,
it's
Private Parts.
This
is a good part. Pig Vomit is a great role.
It's an honest film.
I guess so. What's not, right? What's a liar film?
It's an honest film.
Okay, I guess that's a way to say it.
Pig Vomit.
Private Parts.
Yeah.
Great part. Great
part.
part
Man,
there.
his hair looks so bad. Is that a wig?
He still wears a wig, Howard Stern. He wears a wig every day.
Wig. Like what?
Yeah, still
why does he choose to have his hair that way?
I mean, the word is that he's bald. And I wouldn't doubt it because he's whatever years old. And his hair still looks the same as like 2000. So probably is bald. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a great role too. Like a role too. Bob Zamuda in Man on the Moon. Great fucking movie. But yeah, he's really good at this role. I love this role.
What's her name?
Yeah, I think that's the only. You're talking about the Nirvana girl. Yeah, that's a big strike on the movie. I think that's the only strike on that movie. That's it. That's the only dirt.
What's that Woody Harrelson movie where he plays the penthouse guy? Fuck.
Kessler movie. Yeah.
That movie's good too. It's just
that movie's good. I like it. I like Larry Finn better than Hugh Hefner. So, I mean, you got to show pussy if you're gonna do any of that stuff. Come on.
Yeah, what's the point?
Right. Oh, this is a good movie too. Win-win. Mike Fleury is Giamatti. I remember this character. Yeah, he's a high school wrestling coach.
I don't know this.
This was a good movie. I like this movie. This is a very subtle movie.
Did you wrestle?
Oh yeah, I wrestled. Yeah.
Did you ever see somebody get cauliflower ear?
Yeah, it's very easy to get cauliflower ear just because you're.
Hat on.
I mean, it happens in two ways. There's either I forget what it is. There is a bacteria that is on the mats that people get, ringworm, and sometimes get into your ear. But it's also from if you don't wear a headgear. You see how he's wearing a headgear in this this. If you don't wear a headgear at practice and you're just getting your ear bashed against the mat, your ear will puff up over time and become a cauliflower ear. I think most of the time it's from that. It's just from your heads getting hit on the mat. It's a kind of like a course over time. It doesn't hurt really. It's just over time your ears start to kind of callus up and become a cauliflower ear. And really, it's just a blood flow thing. Oh man, I love this movie, American Splendor. This actually might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I
love this movie.
I like
It's up there for me.
I don't know why, but like the whole release of Ranger the Nerd sequence stands out.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, where he's
Toby and him.
Yep.
I don't like the actress that plays his wife at all. She should have been fatter and weirder looking.
Yeah, I can see that, but it's still it's fine. She fit the role. It was fine.
Yeah, their first date, she's vomiting in his bathroom because he gave her. Oh no! It was based on I think when I went to eat, but yeah, the movie's very depressing too. It's just like he keeps getting sick and almost dying over and over again.
Yeah, it's a cancer scare. I think he did die from cancer though.
Have you ever really listened to jazz before?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
like what jazz do you like? Because I've tried.
I mean, I would say like Miles Davis. I like. I'd say I like that. Other jazz.
What, like Bitches Brew or something? But that's not even.
Yeah,
jazz.
like that. I mean, that's a really good album.
Rock. That's the whole point.
Maybe that's why I like it.
The reason it's good is because it's not jazz anymore.
That could be that. That might be why I like.
I like Headhunters by Herbie Hancock, but that's not that. It's
even like
a fusion album with like psychedelic rock.
There's a couple of John Coltrane albums I like. I think it's called A Supreme Love. I like that album.
Love Supreme,
and Charles Mingus has some good stuff. I mean, I don't mind there's some good jazz, but overall, it's not my favorite thing. Blue Train, John Coltrane for sure. No, I think I like Coltrane. Thelonious Monk has some good stuff. I think I might have just heard a best of. Herbie Hancock has some decent stuff. There's good jazz, but then there's a lot of bad jazz.
Yeah, but if you listen to Watermelon Man from Herbie Hancock, it's not really jazz. It's like funk,
I think even a lot of the stuff I'm mentioning, all the stuff I'm mentioning is actually has some rock influence to it too, especially at the era. I think there's a lot of '60s stuff I'm talking about. Cinderella Man. Have you ever seen this movie?
Fusion was a big thing in the mid to late '70s, early '80s.
Right.
There's a genre.
I think I like that.
We don't experience anymore. I mean, I'm sure
I like all that jazz fusion.
To look for it.
Well, even I would say, it's not new, or it's not old like that, or it's not new either. But it's called Medeski Martin Wood. Isn't that kind of jazz? Wouldn't you say there's some jazz elements to that? I guess it's jazz fusion.
But it's whitewashed jazz.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm colorblind, man. So I'm colorblind. I don't see race like that.
Jazz.
So
no, there's a big difference. Kamasi Washington is very popular new age jazz shit, and that's not three white guys who came out of Berkeley or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. I mean, I'm very colorblind. You know, I'm very open to race and stuff. So I don't know if you know that, but
well, there's nothing like knowing it than being told it. So
yeah, if you're being told it, then you definitely know, right? But yeah, I don't see color. The next one here is Cinderella Man.
I don't see color either. You're like when I go to a red light, I just fucking sit there for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, I am literally colorblind, so you know,
yeah,
I'm legally colorblind, so I can say that. But Ron Howard's Cinderella Man. I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
You get like a tax exemption for that?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well,
I don't have to join the military for it. I couldn't be a pilot. That's the only thing I think. But you know what? Probably this day and age they fixed that. So I don't know. Probably could still go there. Still bomb North Korea or something. I do.
If I didn't pay my rent next month intentionally, I could legally get compensation and reimbursement for it.
Really?
The following month. Yeah. Yeah. There's like government programs where they have too much money available that people aren't spending, and they need it to just go to anybody. They don't care if you're.
Are you in like a District 9 housing? Are you like amongst the aliens?
No, I'm not District 9. It's just if you
District
don't
9, like District 9,
you
like the aliens.
Like you can't afford stuff, you can just get free shit. Like it's just
shit.
You just work the system for no reason, and they'll track your savings and
you know what I'm thinking of, man.
And it doesn't matter.
How good was District 9, by the way?
I liked
That's
it
a good
lot.
Film.
He's got other good shit too. I didn't.
Are you
like
big Chappie fan? Big Chappie fan. You didn't like the Ant-Word one, Chappie?
No, the one before that. It was like this.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The one where they're on that ring.
Yeah, the ring world.
That one wasn't that good. I forgot the name of it. You know, it sucks that guy's not making movies anymore. You know, like I wish he would make. I'd be totally be down for. Like, he's someone. I just don't think there's like the money for it. You know, like.
No, you know, it's like I thought South African, Australian stuff. They have a very long history of like films being financed by the government.
I mean, I haven't heard any. I guess a better way. I haven't heard anything about Neil Blomkamp doing any movies, so I don't really know. Oh no! You know what? I see he's doing a Gran Turismo movie, but really? And you know what? I saw trailers for this. Orlando Bloom's in it. I just saw a trailer for this like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
it looks actually pretty good.
Bloom.
Yeah, actually, it looks pretty good. David Harbour, Orlando Bloom. It actually didn't look bad. It actually looked kind of good.
Yeah,
I didn't know Blomkamp.
That sounds weird as shit.
And it's
like
it's got a big.
Sounds weird as shit.
It's got a big PlayStation vibe to it. No, David Harbour from Stranger Things is the lead. Orlando Bloom, I think, is part of the racing team.
Wow,
captain.
How fallen Legolas has.
I mean,
think about it. Like,
was he ever that good though?
What really has he done other than that part? I can't think of shit.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
This one movie he was.
Pirates of the Caribbean
with Kirsten Dunst, where he tried to kill himself. That's the only thing I can think of.
Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in the whole franchise.
So I mean, lesser like art house type of things, or like lower budget. You know.
Well, he was out of like theater school for Lord of the Rings. That was his first role ever. It was Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah, he was like taken out of English theater school for that part. Yeah. It's big cock brawler, man. There is word of that. Orlando Bloom, very well hung.
From Peter Jackson.
Number 2. No, I know that's I think someone said it, and I think there's he might have took naked photos or something. Something's been leaked. I know he's a big cock brawler. He's part of that he's part of that
I don't know
elite crowd.
I feel like a big cock brawler was like people boxing with their wearing diapers with like shitting their pants or something.
Basically, all I know is apparently that's the truth with Orlando Bloom. Straight Outta Compton. I've never saw this movie. Did you ever see the NWA movie?
Yeah.
It was good?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. That's why I don't think I ever saw this. Was
No,
Giamatti
the
good in
acting
this?
is terrible. The writing is terrible. The casting is awful.
I mean, we got to know that
it
number one
really-
here is Sideways,
like,
right?
If I'm Dr. Dre and I co-produce this, I'm thinking like, this just makes us look like goofy assholes with no just cucked out industry faggots who are being run by some older Jewish white guy with no
Yeah, I think that's
tailbones.
what they were, though.
Even though you're
I don't
trying
think
to act like you're the
I don't think
hardest thing
Ice Cube
in
was
the
ever
world.
like. I don't think Ice Cube was ever hard off. Like there's a lot of these guys from these groups that like he never had a hard life. I think he was from L.A. It was kind of an act. When you look into NWA, it was all like an act. You ever heard that?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's just industry drummed up bullshit to sell stuff.
Yeah, especially like at the time, like Rodney King a little before then. Like it was very relevant. Number one has to be Sideways, right?
It's really more about the context than like anything that was really that good.
Well, we all know number one has to be Sideways, which is a great movie. Alexander Payne is a good director. I really like his movies. I think he's a great director.
What do you think of Descendants?
I liked it. It's not my favorite. I like Sideways better.
Really good.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me, I liked how just kind of like aggressive and mean they were to each other, but it got grating after a while, And
it did.
There really was no connection to the source material of the entire story, which was the dead mother, because she was like so brief and just like an actor shot kind of half-ass montage,
Mm-hmm. That's true. I liked it though. There's kind of like a calming mumblecore vibe to Sideways that I liked. Do you know what I mean by that?
Oh yeah,
kind of.
No, when that movie came out, that was like peak mumblecore, like.
But this was like taking it to a next
guy
level.
From the fucking League with that couch movie and all that kind of shit.
Duplass.
Juno was mumblecore, like
Mark Duplass.
When that came out, it was like, Mark Duplass, like it was like peak mumblecore.
Yeah.
What would you say like pre-mumblecore was?
Like Eternal Sunshine.
I would think like, would you qualify like Napoleon Dynamite as that kind of thing?
Kinda. I actually heard that that there's a new movie called Joyride that's supposed to be really good raunchy comedy. Speaking of like boner stuff we used to talk about, that's the female boner. It's a big click comedy.
Never actually fully finished the boner stuff.
Never finished that.
God. This is like too much boner stuff.
It's in the back of my mind to finish that.
To go through.
There's too much, right?
It's pretty overwhelming.
Well, yeah. It's a hard topic to deal with, figuratively and literally. But a new click comedy is Joyride. Have you heard this movie about Joyride? I heard it's actually really good. I've heard very good things.
Joyride I saw was this remake with Paul Walker and Lily Sobieski and Steven Zahn.
Yeah, I think this movie shares the same name, but it's not a remake. But
you know the movie I'm talking about, where it's about.
I know what you're talking about.
To a trucker.
I know what you're talking about.
And then the guy like stalks them and tries to kill all of them and stuff.
Right.
That's the Joyride.
Here's the new Joyride. Let's check this out. It's a Red Band trailer.
Best friends trip. This is gonna be iconic.
You would like that? You do understand this is a work trip for me.
Audrey, I got you. Look at me.
You're thinking about a dick.
Damn it, you're right.
Look at me, look at me, look at me now. I love a grand adventure. I heard that if you keep up with Chinese businessmen, they respect you more.
Listen up, listen up, listen up.
Oh my God, you're a drug dealer? You gonna plug or you gonna play? Is that a condom? You look like you've had a lot of things in your asshole. Not a lot of things, just one thing, but maybe different varieties. Is that one thing?
Look at me, look at me, look at me go. Stick your hand up there like a claw machine trying to get the stuffed bear.
Okay. Get that bear!
So powerful.
If you do not know where you come from, how do you know who you are?
I'm just a garbage American who only speaks English. And a little Gollum. Yeah, fatty hobbitses. You guys have that here?
Yeah, we have. It's all over the world.
Y'all calling me crazy.
Let's just be adults.
Are you horny? Sex isn't shameful. It's beautiful. Like the noises. Oh.
Man.
Show them.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
There's some whores in the street. You gotta go crazy. I'm not racist. You don't like boba and you never fucked an Asian guy.
Damn, still? When I masturbate, I sometimes fantasize about Splinter. He's Asian.
He's a rat.
He's a good father.
Bad trailer. Very bad trailer. But I've heard really good things about this movie. What did you think? You're speechless. I can see it. You're speechless. But I don't think it's a bad film there. It looks original. I've only heard decent things. I've heard it's actually a very raunchy comedy, which is nice to hear. By the filmmaker, writer who did Crazy Rich Asians. I don't think I ever saw it. You ever see that movie? I never saw that one. It's something. I'll say that. It's something. It's no Paul Giamatti stuff, but it looks all right. Let me take a look at our stuff here. Yeah. What I see here, this was actually kind of cool. Paul Verhoeven, it's his 85th birthday today. This was kind of nice to see. Here's him filming Starship Troopers.
Use every technique he possibly can just to pull out anything out of you that he doesn't feel like he's getting.
Broom.
Johnny, look. And he's just enough to play off of alone, even if he didn't have everything. Just the way he is. He's so insane.
A lot of our scenes where we're reacting to bugs that aren't there. He was down in there with us. He was in the dirt making these noises all day long for us to have something to react to.
I love your sound effects.
I would even turn around and start shooting. And he'll come over and go, come on, let's shoot it. Let's do it. Come on. He'll get in there and he runs and he acts like a bug going, back and forth. No, it's attack. He's a motivator. I think if Paul told me to sit in the corner on my head and spit nickels, I could do it.
He's very focused. And I think to be this focused with such a big movie, with so many things to think about. And he's still able to keep some sort of sense of humor about himself. Paul has total control, and that's why it's great working for him, because you trust him, because you've seen RoboCop and you've seen Total Recall, and this is exactly that kind of movie. So you know it's going to be done really well.
Yeah, he's right.
Isn't the guy doing RoboCop?
Yeah, it's Paul Verhoeven, man. Brilliant guy. What do you think of Joyride? Did you like Joyride, or did you think it looked bad? I think the trailer looks bad. I think it's undeniable. It's a bad-looking trailer. But I've only heard good things. Actually, I was like reading about it. Like people I like their opinion. They really like Joyride. Made me want to actually check it out because it would have been a movie I would have never probably saw. I heard it's a good click comedy.
Yeah, do you think a trailer's ever really been that bad to completely tank a movie before it even came out?
Yeah, I think that has happened.
Like what? Like, is there a list of the worst trailers of all time?
That's a good question. I'm looking at trailers that ruined the movie. There are some.
I think part of it is like giving away way too much of the best.
Yeah, I think that's it.
To where it's like you don't need to see it.
It's actually interesting. I know Miyazaki, his last movie is out in Japan right now, and I guess it'll come out in America. But he even said, he made a point, like he doesn't want a trailer of the movie. He said, I don't want to put out a trailer at all, which is interesting because it's like he just doesn't want to show anything. I mean, it depends. There's some movie that have spoiled the plot. There's some trailers that totally have. Castaway spoiled the plot. I saw a trailer for that. Yes. I don't know.
There's also probably examples where the trailer looked so fucking good and then people saw it and it was like horrible.
Like John Carter.
No, I don't.
John Carter, man, is, you know what? I have to say, underrated movie. I watched a little bit more the other day. It's actually really not that bad. It got really like shit on for no reason, kind of.
I don't remember shit about it.
It's just it was very panned for like kind of no real reason. Makes me wonder if Disney was trying to get their stock up. They might have been doing the same thing with
Maybe
it
that was
now.
the beginning of.
That's where they tested it. Was John Carter?
Yeah, that was like their Oppenheimer.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back. I might do a stream on the road. We'll just have to see. So, see you guys.